Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day during book week. Now, I've got our 10th grandchild, little baby Zoey here. Now, Zoey's 4.5 months old. Zoey, by the way, Greek word for life. It's a great name for a baby. Now, baby Zoey at 4.5 months is clearly ready for her grandfather to start reading to her, aren't you? Look at her smile. Watch this. I'm going to read to you. I'm going to read to you. That'll make her smile usually. So what are we going to read to a 4.5-month-old during book week video thoughts for the day? Well, I know. We're going to read her some G.K. Chesterton. Wait, do I hear someone say, who is G.K. Chesterton? She is telling you. G.K. Chesterton may be the greatest thinker of the 20th century. He's credited with writing the book that probably was one of the key leading of C.S. Lewis away from atheism. He was C.S. Lewis's favorite writer. So he wrote a number of different books that were absolutely wonderful. The book that influenced C.S. Lewis was called The Everlasting Man. Anyway, G.K. Chesterton wrote over 4,000 essays that were published in newspapers. That's like writing an essay a day for 11 years. Give that a try. In addition to that, he wrote over 100 books. He wrote the Father Brown detective books. A great TV series has been put out on those right now. But one of the amazing things about G.K. Chesterton is in the midst of all of this, he brought his Christian faith to bear. Now, here you've got a man who's primarily a journalist, but he wrote plays, he wrote books, he was a huge Christian thinker, and he was equally at ease writing about literary criticism, writing about philosophy, writing about theology, writing about politics, history, economics. Why? Because in everything he wrote, he expressed his worldview and he brought his faith to bear. He reminds me of a passage Paul wrote. Paul wrote to the Ephesians and he said, whatever your hand finds to do, whether in word or deed, do everything in the name of Jesus. What Paul was saying was, find your life in all that you're thinking, in all that you're doing, in every deed, in all of your work, do it in reference to who God is and what God wants you to do. G.K. Chesterton was marvelous at this. And so here you've got a man who wrote, I think he died in like 1936. He was born in the 1800s. But you've got a man who wrote so prolifically on so many different areas and influenced so much. One of his books, The Napoleon of Notting Hill, was like credited with causing the Irish independence movement. Mahatma Gandhi read G.K. Chesterton and credited Chesterton with helping him move India beyond colonial dependence on England. All of that from a man who just decided to do everything he could for God and God's purposes and kingdom. And that is a marvelous thing to be reading to little Zoey about. So Zoey, let's work on this together. Let's start with the Father Brown book entitled The Innocence of Father Brown. Chapter 1, The Blue Cross. Oh, hang on one second, Zoey. I need to tell my friends something. Friends, this is your video thought for the day. I urge you, read some G.K. Chesterton, but even more importantly, live your life in everything you do to the glory of God. I'll see you again tomorrow.